Oh, hi! This is not going to be my usual content. Now, it's the weekend, but this is not my usual content, and this I guess this would be part of my weekend forfeit. Spoiler alert! But this is not my usual content. For the few people that watch me, I usually talk about music, specifically K-pop, P-pop, and action figures. Basically, my collection. I talk about my collection, and I do have few sprinklings of some current events in online world. A few dashes of local politics on my end, and also, I guess, some personalities in the local or in my case, the Philippine online communities, and some very few political things. But I just like to talk about, I guess, voice my opinion on what's currently, what has been happening in the community I'm a part of. It's called One Community, and it's about former members, specifically the anti-Claire. Now, if you're gonna be talking about a community, we're gonna be talking about members of the community. Of course, there's going to be people who have different views, who hold different views. But one thing is that a community would have the same values or the same things that we're fighting for. Even even if you're not fighting for it, at least there's the same values that you believe in. And it's just very, I guess it's I wouldn't say, yeah, I would maybe disappointment would be a good term. Not that I'm really that disappointed, but I would say disappointment wherein again, I guess maybe two members of our community has since um, has since turned their values around. I wouldn't say I'm an active member of the community. I am a member. I would say that I am a member of the community, and thank you for letting me into that community. Even if this is just my content, but for someone who would actively no for someone who would do a complete heel turn. By the way, what's a heel turn? It's a wrestling term where a face is a good guy, and a heel is a bad guy. So sometimes there's a heel turn or a face turn, wherein a face would turn into a heel and a heel would turn into a face. Wherein that person would do a complete heel turn, and then uh, essentially talk shit about the community that she was a part of and she enjoyed, and I guess helped her also. That I just find it very it's just pretty sad to see people like that. But it is not I guess in my short stay in the community, in this community, or this or that. Okay, so I'm grammar not seeing myself. But then again, in my short stay in the community, um, we've lost we've lost people who had their values, who I guess changed their values. I would say the brat situation, the Sento situation. There's also it was still before me, but I guess the Percy situation, wherein they've changed up. And I guess we can add Derek Ferdy and now Anti-Claire into that situation. But it's just frustrating wherein you had the person who basically had the same values that you had, talked about the same topics, and basically basically with the main commenters or the main commenters in the community, specifically Attorney Libayan, Kayu, Teacher Mark, Paku, Mang Rene, basically had the same mind. They were actually pretty aligned. You know, they were so aligned that she could have been she. Well, I guess she would have been a mentor, and with the and I guess it's and would have shared a bond, you know, with these people, and to do a complete heel turn and essentially act in a way which is directly opposite what you used to do in your what you used to believe in your previous videos. It's very disappointing. You know, I guess disgusting even, because here you are, you knew how these people acted. You knew how these people by the way, it's also the Cervera situation wherein initially he was linking up with the community, and apparently he got found out, and basically the worst thing is that they knew. I mean, she knew how these people are, and then basically become those people. Right? So it's just pretty disgusting. You know, I would say it's disgusting. And what's worse is that unlike I would say unlike the Ampalaya or the Bitter Gourds, you know, unlike the Bitter Gourd group, Bitter Gourd group English, right? Unlike the Bitter Gourd group, BGG, right? Right? Unlike the BGG, who from the well, I guess they rode on that stance. This one came from from our point of view and just switch, and it didn't have to have any situation for her to switch. It's just that she was given a position of, I guess, a position of power, and then just sold herself, basically like selling out. You know, if you're and what's worse is that from the recent lives of Caillou, that then now she has the it's worse already selling your principles, you know, to get that position for ambition. What's worse is you're selling your position. You already sold your principles, and then now you're trying to push on someone else's belief in God. You're pushing religion into it. You've muddled up your principles, and now you're gonna be muddling up your faith. What was I talking to? What was I referring to? She had the gall to talk about the previous president's wife. I guess exclaiming God. Who are you to tell that person, like, your husband has did this and you go to God? Who are you to do that? I mean, you claim to be a Christian. I mean, I'm a Christian, but I wouldn't even dare. I wouldn't even attempt to talk to a person about that, because I would say that I believe that faith is, I guess, it's personal, in a sense that I may believe in this, you may believe in that, but who are you to tell people that, hey, your husband's been doing this and he might not be saved, so why are you bringing God up there? I mean, has your level of arrogance has gone so far up that you would even presume to assume that God will not listen to that person? Or who are you to even assume that just because a person did this, allegedly did this, and if somebody prays for that person, God will not go there and help. Who are you to assume, or who are you to gatekeep God? Even if who are you to gatekeep God? Okay? I was fine with all the things that you were saying, when you were all the all the half truths, the lies, and the things that you were saying, because yeah, well, you already went with the government, right? You already went with that side, and of course you have to protect that side since you've been bought and paid for. But then again, to talk about God, which is I don't think your payment package involves you talking about that. But it's already malice on your end. There's already malice in your heart. There's already no. Maybe there was always been malice in your heart, for you to be that spiteful for a person, for you to be spiteful to you, for you to deny a person their faith, and to say God, to talk about God, for you to deny that, for you to just to think that just because a person might have done this, and then they cannot be saved. You have no right to do that. You have no right to say that. Even no right to talk about your sin. You're not even a pastor. You haven't even learned anything for that. So, Auntie Claire, that's for a Christian. That's not what a Christian would do. And your spitefulness has gone deep in you. So in the end, I'm now actually wondering, was the you previous to your position, was that the real you? Or this is the real you? A spiteful, spineless liar. I mean, it's not my usual content for people who would watch me. But then again, for people who's watching and looking for context, there's a lot of videos, a lot of lives from Kamatis Analysis Unit, and also Teacher Mark Reacts, Paku, and Mang Rene Sakalam. But for you, I'll just put the names there. I'll just mention their names. But I'll just have to say my piece, because what she did when she talked about the former president's wife and about her mentioning God was a new low for her. She has already gone so low that she forgot her principles to join with the other guys' club. She has gone so low for the people who used to bash her to now be her buddies. You've gone a new low after this, because I would personally, I joked with Caillou before, in the group, that I have my hidden depravity. I would still understand you turning on your principles, but for you to be that spiteful to bring God up, that's a new low. That's a new low. Shame on you. Shame on you for being a Christian. Shame on you if you claim to be a Christian, because that God you want, that God you say that practically, that I guess is a God that goes for groups. Shame on you. That's not a Christian God. I don't know what God are you saying. Okay, that's not even a money God. Shame on you. Shame on you. And for anybody who still believes in her, you're just no better than the New Jeans bunnies who still believe in them. You're either brain dead, or deluding yourself. But I'm speaking from a place of extreme disappointment, close to anger, almost not caring soon. But shame on you. Shame on you. If you say you're a Christian, then shame on you. Shame on your Christian God. Because your God is definitely not our God. Definitely not the Christian God. So I guess you have to check yourself on which kind of Christian God you're looking for. Because the Christian God will save individually, will not condemn a group. They won't. So check your gut. Or if you still do. Or maybe unless your gut is someone else.